Right, so we know that social gatherings are curtailed tomorrow. Travel is also a problem. Airlines and passengers were left high and dry after the announcement this week of the revised curfew, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Many flights have been affected, and there's also some criticism about a lack of communication from the carriers. Joining us now from FlySafair, its Chief Marketing Officer, Kirby Gordon. Good afternoon to you and welcome. First of all, as far as the new curfew times are concerned, how much consultation was there?
Hi, Jeremy. I mean, not very much, to be honest. I think, as with every industry, we anticipated that there would be a degree of change, but what exactly the quantum was unknown to us until it was clear to the rest of the nation.
So fair to say you were taken by surprise?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it stands to reason that many of us had surmised that there might have been some curfew adjustments. We'd certainly seen it before, but the quantum of them and to what extent they would be changed was certainly an unknown factor.
So the next day it played havoc with your flight schedules?
Not even the next day, Jeremy, probably, that evening already, as the speech started at about 8 o'clock in the evening. And I mean, we've got departures that start as early as 5:45 in the morning. So you can imagine it was all hands on deck, managing those adjustments and, of course, consulting with the customers that would be affected first as soon as we possibly could.
What is my position if I've pre-booked on your airline right now then, and the flight that I want to take falls beyond the scope of the curfew?
So at the moment, on our side anyway, we're busy running through a number of the changes and adjustments. So yesterday we focused particularly on dealing with customers up until the end of December, and today has been the day for January onwards. Effectively, if your flight has been cancelled by us because of the curfew changes, chances are we can certainly accommodate you on another flight on your route, but it would be at a different time within the curfew windows. Those accommodations, of course, are done absolutely free of charge, and customers who no longer want to fly, perhaps they've made alternative arrangements, can then bank the value of their transactions in the form of a voucher to be used for flights up until a year from now, if they like.
But inevitably there's going to be a degree of frustration, I imagine.
Circumstances where customers still have flights that are operating, but they choose not to fly as a result of these change of circumstances. We've actually loosened some of the rounds of our tightest tickets, and we're now permitting customers to either make penalty-free changes or to bank their purchases in the form of vouchers, but in that case there is a small penalty to pay.
But inevitably there's going to be a degree of frustration if you can't get onto the flight that you want to, because over this period people's travel arrangements are usually very tight.
Hugely so, Jeremy. And I mean, I think the reality is that, we had effectively a sort of tsunami of queries that came through immediately. I mean, we fly between 14 and 15,000 people a day. So, that very next day, there were 14 to 15,000 people that would have been immediately impacted within a space of 12, not even 24 hours, who, all were looking and seeking for our attention. So, obviously as carriers, we try to do as much as we can to manage people on bulk with outward broadcasts of communication through social media channels, through the contact details that we have for customers. But it is very challenging that with immediate effect had a very immediate effect on us.
I appreciate the fact that you say the ball can be dropped sometime, because you've seen the criticism not only of your carrier but of others too, saying that the communication has not been optimum, it's been poor.
Absolutely. It is very tough. It's a huge challenge when you're dealing with that number of people. Jeremy, on our side, we have all hands on deck and we try as hard as we can. We certainly try to engage in through as many mass channels as we can by broadcasting information as widely as we can. But as I say, for deeper one-on-one engagements, it is tough. I think what's also pertinent to mention is that customers, and one understands why, have a sort of a perception of airlines that if we can't help you by a certain time, everything is foregone and forfeited. And I think that we're all very conscious of the nature of the circumstances under which we're operating. We're all very players with integrity, and we're all here to do good business today and in the future. And we will look after our customers, and we will do so as quickly as we possibly can.
Kirby Gordon looks after marketing at the Airlines FlySafair. Thank you very much for joining us.